You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now at 6, covering the entire DMV. A string of shootings, an officer-involved shooting this afternoon in the district. We are live on scene, plus where 3 other investigations are underway since just this morning. And Virginia vetoed the governor tossing dozens of bills in the trash. How women's health and an organization tied to the Confederacy are involved.
And it's been gray and gloomy with some on and off rain across much of the viewing area. Will this trend continue into your Sunday, or will we see a little bit of sunshine? We'll talk about that coming up.
And then there were 2. The mad dash in Maryland for the coveted U.S. Senate seat heating up between a former governor and Prince George's County's top official. How abortion will be a central issue on the campaign trail. And good Saturday evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 6. I'm Ben Dennis. We begin tonight in the district. An officer-involved shooting in broad daylight, sending a man to the hospital. Police just wrapped up a press conference at 24th and G Streets near the Kennedy Center. That's where we find our Dave Laval. Dave, what do we know at this hour?
Well, all this happened around, it all started, we should say, around 11:15 at the Colonial Plaza Apartments behind me when DC police were called here to check on someone who was going through what we've been told was a mental health crisis. We got some video. Let's go ahead and show that to you as we tell you what happened after that. For about 4 hours, police talked with the person as they wanted to take him into custody to undergo a mental health evaluation. And about 4 hours after police talked to him, he was outside. That man then stabbed the officer, one of the officers, in the neck. The officer used a taser. That didn't work. That's when the officer opened fire on the suspect and wounded him. Here's what police had to say just a short time ago.
At this time, we have 4 Metropolitan Police officers that are currently on administrative leave pending an investigation, and the individual has been charged with assault on a police officer.
And we have been told that the suspect has suffered non-life-threatening injuries. And if you're wondering why there are 4 officers who have been put on administrative leave, that's because obviously the one who fired the weapon, the other 3 witnessed what happened, and as the investigation goes and per department policy, they are on administrative leave. We're live in the Foggy Bottom neighborhood in Northwest. Dave Laval, DC News Now.
Thanks to Dave. Much more at 9 o'clock tonight. Meantime, DC police say that they're investigating 2 shootings overnight. Officials say a report for the first one came in around 12:40 on Spring Road in Petworth. Police found a man who had been shot, sent to the hospital. No word on his condition at this hour. Then around 4 a.m., police were called to V Street near the popular U Street corridor. On scene, officers found a man who was shot, unconscious and breathing. He was sent to the hospital. Police are looking for a red or purple Dodge Charger with unknown tags. In Northeast, 12 people and 3 pets are without a home tonight after this house caught fire in Northeast. Officials say it happened at a multi-family home on 24th Street around 4 o'clock. No injuries reported. Investigators are still on scene to determine the cause of that fire. In Maryland, a Montgomery County student was robbed of his clothes at gunpoint while heading home from school. That's according to police who just released the video of the suspect in Montgomery County. We're told this happened Wednesday, May 1st on Loxford Terrace in Wheaton. Now, they're hoping to identify who this is. They believe the suspect is between 15 and 18 years old. And a midday rescue in the district. A man fell down an open shaft in a building under renovation. Officials say it happened on 6th Street Northwest around 11 o'clock. Crews say the man was safely removed from the shaft. He was sent to the hospital with critical injuries. Time is 6:04. Over to weather now with meteorologist Scott Sumner. Scott, I don't have to sugarcoat it. a dreary, disgusting Saturday.
Yeah, you can say that, Ben, all day. We only started out at 62 degrees, got up to 65 today, and right now we're sitting at 63 degrees. We have some rain showers around. You can see, I mean, the picture speaks for itself. Sometimes I don't even have to say a word, and you can see what's going on out there. Current temperatures here, like I said, 63, and many places are in the 60s. They'll stay in the 60s as we go throughout the overnight and maybe bottom out into the upper 50s here around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, but really not much temperature change. We will have some fog building in here overnight. Right now we're still seeing and dealing with some mist and drizzle and some light rain showers from PG County down across portions of Calvert and Arundel County, as well as a lot of southern Maryland and into also Fairfax County. So we have overnight fog building in tonight. We have some spotty mountain showers on Sunday, otherwise dry, warming up next week, and we're watching Thursday for some strong to possibly severe storms. We'll keep an eye on it and talk about it coming up.
Scott, thank you. In Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin just vetoed 48 bills that passed the General Assembly ahead of a midnight deadline yesterday. That includes a bill that would have established a person's right to contraception. A statement from the governor's office says that any bill on contraception must be coupled with protections for providers and respect the rights of parents to make decisions.
It's just a big question about enforcement when, in fact, a physician may make a decision that is so fundamentally based on the health of a patient and therefore wanting to prescribe something different or do something different that needs to be in the physician's judgment.
The governor also vetoed a bill that would have stripped the United Daughters of the Confederacy of certain tax exemptions and vetoed a bill that would have legalized skill games in Virginia. New tonight, D.C. Councilman and former Mayor Vincent Gray suffered another stroke. His office tells us he was hospitalized late last month. Details of his latest health setback only coming out right now. Gray's spokesperson says that the stroke was minor and he is completing daily physical therapy while still working for constituents in Ward 7. Gray is not seeking re-election after suffering a previous stroke in late 2021. So why are we just now hearing about the additional stroke? Well, Gray's spokesperson tells us the councilman hasn't sought to hide anything from the public, but, quote, "My health is a private matter, provided that it doesn't interfere with my public duties." A post on Gray's social media May 7th said that he would not attend a council meeting due to inpatient physical therapy, though you can see there on X, it did not explicitly cite his recent stroke. In the Commonwealth, teachers in Fairfax County likely won't be getting the pay raises that they have been hoping for. Because of a budget shortfall, the school system superintendent proposing 3% raises opposed to a proposed 6% mark. Northern Virginia reporter Haley Milon explains.
Right, smaller raises for teachers despite there being hundreds of teacher vacancies in the division. The largest school division in the Commonwealth employs more than 12,000 teachers. Now, initially, the administrators planned for a 6% raise for teachers, but the budget is $16.3 million less than expected. The district can only swing 3% raises now. Superintendent Michelle Reed says she'd aimed to make Fairfax Schools teachers the highest paid in the region, but now the division will move from 7th best teacher pay in the region to 6th best. Now, this comes as the Fairfax County School Board and other school divisions grapple with teacher shortages. Fairfax employing thousands of teachers but has 600 teacher vacancies. Now, the board must approve the budget, which is set to take effect on July 1st. Reporting in studio, Haley Milon, DC News Now.
Our thanks to Haley. Meantime, a dog flu outbreak continues to shutter the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center. Staff says the public still won't be allowed to visit for the foreseeable future and only accepting donations for essentials. They say since they closed May the 2nd, 54 dogs have shown signs of canine influenza. Most, good news, have recovered and no longer showing symptoms. Animals are still able to be adopted and fees are waived. DC News Now is your local election headquarters. Abortion will be a key issue in the upcoming U.S. Senate race in Maryland. Our political and government reporter Leonard N. Fleming caught up with the candidates, Republican candidate Larry Hogan and Democrat Prince George's County Executive Angela Brooks. He shares where they stand.
Well, the former governor says that he's always been in favor of protecting abortion rights for women, but he's furthering that stance by saying now that he is pro-choice, a stance that Democrats say they don't believe. Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan, now the GOP nominee for an open U.S. Senate seat, says this Friday.
I'm not personally in favor of abortion, and I was raised as a Catholic, but I also have said for decades that I wasn't going to make that choice for anyone else.
And that dovetails with Hogan declaring this week that he's pro-choice after previously declining to officially take a stance.
No one should come between a woman and her doctor. That's my position.
And the popular two-term governor says that he would also vote to enshrine abortion rights into federal law and the state constitution.
I think he has a record that Marylanders will become aware of.
Democratic opponent and Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks told DC News Now on Wednesday that Hogan isn't for abortion rights in Maryland.
They will know for sure that he is a person who is not pro-choice, that he vetoed important abortion care legislation that would have expanded that care across the state.
But Hogan says over the past 90 days, he's listened to Marylanders' concerns about the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
You know, voters do trust me in Maryland.
Hogan says that he expects Democrats to attack him on the abortion issue, but that Marylanders know him and his record. Meanwhile, Alsobrooks says that she also will seek to define Larry Hogan, particularly on the abortion issue. Reporting from Prince George's County, Maryland, Leonard N. Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.
Our thanks to Leonard tonight. In a few weeks, Metro will be closing 5 Red Line stations for the summer construction, we're told. Those stations include Glenmont, Wheaton, Forest Glen, Silver Spring, and Tacoma. Construction will start June the 1st. Metro will be providing shuttle buses while those stations will be closed. We caught up with some commuters who have, no doubt, mixed feelings on the summer's closures.
Provide shuttles for, for us, the public, and it's free.
Cutting a whole county off of a very vital transportation system. So I don't know what you can do to replace that, and I don't think buses are the answer.
Tacoma Station is expected to reopen at the end of June. The other 4 stations won't reopen until the end of August. An update tonight on the Key Bridge collapse cleanup. The Dolly cargo ship that collided with the bridge in Baltimore in late March, well, it's slated to be refloated tomorrow. Officials say that process will take around 18 hours starting around noon. The ship will then be pulled and pushed by tugboats to a local terminal going 1 mile per hour. That'll happen on Monday morning. Officials say the trip to the terminal from the crash site will take around 3 hours. The 149th Preakness Stakes taking place tonight in Baltimore. Kentucky Derby winner Mystic Dan is looking to win the second leg of horse racing's Triple Crown. This is the final Preakness before a massive $400 million reconstruction project starts early next year at the historic Pimlico Racecourse. Post time for the Preakness in just under an hour at 7:01.